And we're back with a quick channel update. I probably should have got this out a little bit closer to Christmas, but Christmas being Christmas, you kind of spend a lot of time with the people who mean the most to you, like friends, family, whiskey, and maybe not precisely in that order. So, yeah, a little bit slow about getting things done. First up, the game whose name I keep mangling the pronunciation of an awful lot, which I'm not going to mention by name here, just to avoid all the obligatory comments people will be forced to make to tell me how badly I'm pronouncing it. This game is not sucking me in. I don't know what it is about it. It has all of the key things that I like about in a game, but I don't go to bed thinking about what I want to do next, and I don't wake up and go, ooh, I really want to try something new. Now sometimes I just find myself sitting in a mountain and I'm like, oh, I've got to look up what these perks mean and I should really figure out how to make a good wand, and then I'll just say, I'll come back later, and I go away. That doesn't happen to me with other games. This one, it just seems it kind of pushes me away, and I've been trying to figure it out. I think it tells me more about what I like in games than... let me explain. You see, I'm not particularly amazing at games. I'm decent at playing computer games, but what helps me is that I'm just very persistent. I will dedicate a psychotic amount of time to something. If you dedicate a psychotic amount of time to anything, you will get good at it. Thing is, I have lapses in concentration. Like, I'll play RimWorld and I'll mess up and I'll make a mistake, but then, I'll focus up, I'll get my stuff together, and I'll figure a way around it. Or Oxygen included, same thing. I'll make a mistake, but I'll figure it out and I'll somehow salvage it. Not yet. You mess up one time for a split second, you're dead, and that's it. You got to start again. And it's just kind of, it's not that it gets to me, it's just, I don't learn enough every round. It's like, oh yeah, I got killed by that way that I normally get killed. I got to remember not to do that. And then I'll remember not to do that for about 4 or 5 more runs, and then it kills me again later. I found a mod that basically saves the game every time you pick up a perk in a mountain. I might try that for a bit to see if it revives the excitement for me, but I think I might be taking Nadia out in a wee bit. Sorry about that. I know it was... a lot of people really like that game, and I can see why it's a burning addiction. It doesn't grab me. Sorry. Schedule-wise, for the new year, and yes, I do actually have a schedule, one that I reasonably keep to. The plan is to get out 4 videos a week. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. The plan would be have one game in the slots of Monday and Thursday, and one game in the slots of Tuesday and Friday. A little bit of alternating stuff going on there. In fact, the numbers from last year are actually pretty good. It's I got out 195 videos. Which means, I average, on average over the entire year, I missed 3 weeks. So I missed 3 weeks in total. So I figure that's like holidays or something, maybe? I mean, it's not terrible. It means I averaged about 3 3/4 of a video a week. That does mean I have missed the odd video here and there, usually because, I'll be getting later in a series, like even Cosmoteer or something like that. You get really late on, you spend hours farming, and there's no real good footage in there. I mean... Watching someone farm is not exactly the most exciting thing in the world. No offense to farmers or anything like that. Watching anyone do a bit of a grind. But you kind of got to do those things at points in games, just to develop some fun stuff. But for the new year, I want to try and replace one day. This is going to sound terrible, but I kind of want to replace Thursday with a tutorial. I would like to actually sub in Thursdays as a tutorial every so often, just because I kind of miss doing the tutorials. You spend all this time learning how to play a game, and then I feel like you should sort of... If there's no tutorials for that game out there that I think are good enough, I should put together just all the knowledge you kind of accumulate when you figure out a game, read through the wiki too many times, and spend too much time playing it. It's nice to just leave the information there so that next time I come back to play it, I have something to look at. When it comes to modding games, I think the latest RimWorld playthrough has really made me realize just how imbalanced mods are. Like, I'm using some vanilla expanded mods for RimWorld, and my initial impression of those was, they're called vanilla expanded, they should just not be too imbalanced. Oh wow, they were, there's been some fun shenaniganry going on in there. Like, I'm not sure if it's a good idea to start putting in mods of these things, because the amount of chaos it adds is absolutely ridiculous. But I think I'll put up a poll at some point and just see how people feel about that, just on the grounds that sometimes it's nice to see more grounded playthrough, maybe occasionally sprinkle in the stupidly overpowered ones, or maybe I'm just playing the wrong mods. It could be that either. This next part is a cry for editing help into the void, and I don't mean to actually help me edit, just to stop these annoying scritch noises. I've got these scritch noises, and I swear, they drive me nuts. Trying to explain this, though, is going to be, it's going to be a bit of a challenge. This is the audio scritch I'm talking about. These just randomly appear in videos when I'm making them sometimes. I presume it's something to do with my editing software or something I'm doing wrong, but I cannot find a solution. So, if you've got headphones on, maybe hold them away from your head or turn down the volume. Let's give this a try. Like rapid shoes. That just randomly appears in some of my videos, for no apparent reason. I can go back and show you the original audio. There is nothing wrong with the original audio. There is no big giant audio glitches in there. And it just makes no sense to me why these appear. I've been trying to search them up, and I just call them scritch noises, scratch noises, sound noises, whatever. I've tried all sorts of Google searching, and I can't find anything. I have occasionally heard them in other YouTubers' videos, and I've left comments on theirs that they have no solutions for me either, unfortunately. So yeah, if anyone knows where these come from, that would be great. I would really like to know, because they have caused me no end of troubles. Here is the unedited footage before it got rendered, and if you zoom in, you'll see there's no giant big blob of audio in there. It's just, normal, like rapid, nothing crazy in there. It's grand. I don't know where it magically comes from. Here's the weird bits, though. I can get rid of the audio glitch in a couple of ways. There's multiple methods, but one is I could just edit this video slightly. For example, I could just come over here and go, you know what? There is too much sound here. I will just edit off a little bit of sound there, a little bit of sound there, stick those together, and next thing you know, that scritch won't appear there when I render this version of it. If I leave everything the same, the scritch will end up in the exact same place and the scritch will always appear, but if I edit the video ever so slightly, the scritch will either disappear completely, or I'll end up with a scritch somewhere else. It just, any editing to the file basically means that scritch doesn't appear there. So that makes no sense to me why this happens. It just feels like the weirdest glitch in the world. Here is the first Notya. No, damn it, I said the name. Here is that Wizard Witch game that the Finnish one, and it too also has one of those scritch noises in it for no apparent reason that I can tell. So. Maybe it's something to do with S noises. I have no idea. All I know is that it's really, really frustrating because it blows out people's headphones when they're listening to it. So what I end up having to do is render a video, then go check the audio files for it to make sure that there's no scritch noises. If there is, I have to come in, delete out the scritch noises, and then re-render the file a second time. I've had it before where I've had to re-render the same video 4 times, because the first time I got a scritch noise, the second time I got a scritch noise, and it would randomly appear over here where there was no scritch noises before. Third time, and then the 4th time. It was very frustrating. It burns a bunch of time, and it's really annoying when you're trying to get a video out the door on a good time frame. So, you know anything about this? Let me know. That would be a real lifesaver. A lot of YouTubers talk about their editing process, and I just don't see the point of that. I don't think anyone really cares except other people who make YouTube videos. But since we're already here, I suppose that let's try some of it. I mean, there is the odd weird thing. One, I do not continuously record. When I'm doing RimWorld or any game at all, I don't record everything continuously. I just turn on the recording software when I think something fun is happening, and then I start talking. That's where the commentary comes from. 99.9% of any commentary in videos is just done as I do it, because I'm just better when things are live, or I don't know, try to do voiceover after the fact. I don't think I have, I don't know, just doesn't work for me, let's say. So 90% of me editing a video is going through and trimming out the end bits, though I do have to listen to every single bit of it. I am so sick of hearing my own voice, I can tell you that much. But, no. We don't need that just yet. This would take too long. So I listen to it at double speed. Basically, yeah. I edit my own videos at double speed because it's the only way to do it. And I'm beginning to wonder if that has affected how the videos turn out. Maybe I'm doing them too slowly, or the audio's too slow for other people because I'm listening to it at double speed. Because I have to be able to understand it at double speed, otherwise I don't release it, type of thing. You know, never mind. But yes, I pretty much ended up listening to all things now at double speed, because after a while you can't listen to things at normal speed. It just takes too long. One of the side effects of editing. Now, other times there will be things like this. I believe there's a monster over here or whatever that we're fighting, and it's going to take too long, so there's this giant pile of silent audio because I hit the mute button on the microphone while we were taking care of this thing. In which case, there's 2 things you can do. The first is you can just hit turn on this and change the speed to any of the presets to make it shorter. However, there can be problems. What if this does not shorten it down enough? Like, what if it's a really long thing and I want to make sure that any fast forward bits don't last more than 3 to 5 seconds? Instead, what you could do is you could change the clip speed. However, this will then include the entire clip in it, and it gets all sorts of weird funkiness. Yeah, there's an awful lot of fun, quirky bits about using DaVinci Resolve. In fact, any editing software, I'd say. So you have to make it a new compound clip and then change the speeds and all sorts of junk. But assuming you get through all of that, you just clip out the bits, Oh, what's that? Oh, another big long firefight. Never mind. So yeah, basically it's lumps of audio combined with some sped up footage. Sometimes I chop out bits here and there, but generally it's just editing is very quick. I think some people take days or hours doing editing. For me, it's about Well, assuming this is an hour and 14 minutes, probably 2 hours tops, and I've got this whole thing done. On a good day, I could probably get it out in about 60 minutes because, you're watching it at double speed. Then comes the fun bits. First thing, select all your audio, crank up the volume by 5 points. Why? Because otherwise it was too low and no one could hear it on YouTube. Yeah, if you go back and listen to some of my very, very first videos, the audio is incredibly low and you have to max out the volume to hear anything. Now, I could have changed stuff with the microphone and things, but it turns out it was just easier to record at a lower volume and then crank it up for YouTube because YouTube does a bunch of volume normalization anyway. So, yeah. Then, theme song. So this is the RimWorld credit song. Yeah, I like this one. This is found on the YouTube audio library. They basically have a bunch of free music that you can use. And I try and look up one that suits the theme of whatever game I'm playing. This one felt, with the guitars and all that, it kind of felt like almost a Western style. It sort of suited RimWorld. I kind of enjoy it. Anyway, then comes the credits. Yeah, this one took me a while to figure out. Oh, actually, wait, no. Credit music. Very important thing here. Turn down the volume by about -5. We want to reduce the volume so that people don't get woken up. See, a lot of people, it turns out, will listen to videos to fall asleep to. So they'll put on the video, fall asleep. But then at the end, if your credits music is too loud, it wakes them up. You don't want to do that. So you get complaints. And they're like, could you turn it down a bit? So I'm like, okay, so I turn it down a bit. And then you get less complaints. But then you turn it down a little bit more. And eventually, you stop getting complaints. So it turns out for this particular song, if I put it at -5, I don't get any complaints about it waking them up. I have turned down the volume on all of the credits music so that people can sleep more easily through it. I mean, it's really the credits music. Most people skip that stuff anyway, so why not help those people out? When it comes to the credits, this has gone through a few iterations, but the thing is, it's always too big, and you can't change the defaults on this. I don't know why that's not allowed. So every single time I have to come in here, change the size, and change the offset. This basically puts a little bit of color behind it. If you're going to put pictures or have video playing behind it, you need a little offset of a black background, so it doesn't get all blurry and things like that. But anyway, assuming you've done it correctly, it should now play just fine. And then there we go, where we see the first credit coming up. This whole list of text is stored in a text file. Yep, all the credits are stored in a text file that I update once a month from the actual Patreon. And then you get the second list. And this is where there's just more weird quirkiness for working with these things. Let's just change down the size, and then you think it'd just be a case of, hey, I can just hit the right align button. And there it plays. It's working, right? No. Malf is missing his E. You look at the top here, that Malf is supposed to have an E there. Where's that Malf? Okay, we'll just push it to the left. Nope, still no E. You can kind of see some of the letters drifting in and out of reality there. I don't know why this is, but right alignment does not work. So instead what we have to do is hit this button here to align it to the middle, and then we get the E back. Then we kind of position the whole thing over to the right-hand side of the screen. And I have to do this with every single video, every time. I have no idea why this is the way it is. I just know that this is now the process of me making the credits. Every single video, and there's no way to save it and copy-paste it. If using DaVinci Resolve was a game, I really do suck at it, because it's just a case of, yeah, whatever eventually worked, bodge it together, and so long as it works, you're good to go. I've had a few offers from people to edit my videos, but the sad fact of the matter is it's not really possible. Assuming he was even making enough money to hire someone to edit the videos, because you'd never get someone to do it for free for exposure. That's being a muppet. No, it's more a case of it's just physically impossible because of the way I do things. Namely, I just chuck together a bunch of files, shorten them down slightly, maybe speed up time here and there. Oh, if you're ever trying to do a time-lapse and oxygen not included, you don't want to make the little clips of videos less than half a second long. They want to be 3/4 of a second long, otherwise the human eye can't grasp it. That's based on trial and error from a lot of making videos. Yeah, true. 3/4 of a second for each chunk of that time lapse. It's just one of those things you pick up along the way. But yes, the important bit was trying to explain to someone why it was impossible for them to edit my videos made me realize just how terrible my editing process was. And then as I went back through it and looked at the credits and how I do everything, I'm like, yeah, I should probably do a course or something, or, everything I've learned on this has all been through, basically tutorials, YouTube tutorials probably, and reading the odd troubleshooting guide. Yeah, this is, it sounds worse and worse the more I think about it, and that's my livelihood now. Yeah. Really should invest a lot more time and effort into this. All right, let's maybe end on a little bit more of an upbeat note. Sorry, I'm coming on the tail end of a cold here, and I'm just probably not in the best headspace for being upbeat. But I hope everyone had a great Christmas and New Year's. Hope this year is better than last year. I hope you have plenty of time to play games, plenty of time to, well, just have a good time, I suppose, is what I'm saying. An extra big helping of thanks, though, has to go to the patrons. Namely because if it wasn't for you, I couldn't be doing this. You guys have supported me not just through Auction Not Included, but you also supported me through like some of the other lesser known games like Cosmoteer. Oh, Stacklands. Yes, I still can't believe Stacklands was that popular. It's basically a card game. Yeah, X4, Star Sector, Kenshi. Ooh, and who could forget Songs of Sticks? Songs of Six? Songs of Six Sticks, whatever. You know the one with the little people. You know what I mean. Thanks to you guys, I can actually do this all the time. That kind of means a huge amount to me. Thanks very much. Anyway, go off and enjoy whatever holidays you have left if you've got any. And if you don't, look forward to the next ones. I gotta go off now and do a little bit of prep work on the side for the RimWorld episode coming up next. We gotta take out the Void next round, and I think it should be interesting. I got plans for that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this update and that horror cry for help. Please help me with the scritch noises. And good luck.